What is and how to set up domain password policy. An in-depth guide on everything about domain password policy. Domain password policy defines the complexities a user should have in their password when setting up their account. As an admin, you should enforce such complex password policies to make sure that the passwords are harder to crack. A password policy ensures that a user has created a strong password, which is less prone to cyber attacks or impossible for hackers to crack down. A domain password policy needs to be set up in the Active Directory to keep all the user accounts safe and secure. Well, there's more to it. And that we will be discussing in this guide, where we will explain what is domain password policy and how to set it up. There are several aspects to keep in mind when setting up a domain password policy for user accounts, which we will cover in this guide. What is the domain password policy? The Active Directory AD is configured with a default domain password policy. This policy defines the password requirements for users' accounts, such as the password length, age, and so on. So, basically, the complexity of the password is what the domain password policy determines and enforces users to follow the same guidelines. A domain password policy is an Active Directory feature that forces all users to follow a set rule of security policy to access the domain and its assets. Password policies are associated with the domain and can be tweaked with the help of group policy. There are 6 password policies that you can configure. Enforce password history. This policy prevents users from creating the same passwords or reusing the old ones. Maximum password age. It defines the number of days a password can be used before it needs to be renewed. Minimum password age. It determines the minimum number of days a password can be used before it needs to be changed. Minimum password length. It defines the number of characters a user can use to create a password for their user account. Password must meet complexity requirements. You can enable or disable this feature and can define the user to create complex passwords based on guidelines. Store passwords using reversible encryption. Encrypted passwords are stored in the database and cannot be converted into plain text. So, you need to enable this feature to allow decrypting passwords, only for special cases. How to set up a domain password policy. 1. Use PowerShell. Open the Start menu by pressing the Win key. Type PowerShell and open it. Type the below command and press Enter. Get Add Default Domain Password Policy. 2. Use Group Policy Management. Press the Win plus R keys to open the Run dialog. Type gpmc.msc and press Enter. Expand domains. Navigate to the below path. Computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings, account policies, password policy. Double-click on one of the settings on the right side to edit. For example, double-click the minimum password length option and select 14 characters. Mechanical mouse vs optical mouse, differences and advantages. Apart from the default Windows password policies, you can use third-party tools to enhance the level of policies further and customize the Active Directory's domain password policy, as per your business's needs. Manage Engine AD Self-Service Plus.